there, grade 8 students. It's nice to see you again. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's me again, your virtual English teacher. I am Sir Stephen, but you can call me Sir Steve or Sir Steve. How are you? How was your first week of modular class? Still doing pretty well? Well, I hope so. I am praying for the best and I'm wishing you the best of luck every time that you are answering your module in all of your subjects. Are you ready for our lesson this week?
Aye, Captain!
I can't hear you.
Aye, Captain!
Well, if that is the case, then let's begin.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Let us begin now. Starting today and up to the end of this school year, we will have some changes in the modules that you are answering. In the previous week, you have had very thick modules in your subjects, but starting today, you will have a shorter number of pages in your modules. And these are called LAS or Learning Activity Sheets. Okay, so starting today for our quarter 1 week 2 lesson, we will have it via learning activity sheet. For this lesson's learning competency, it will be to use conventions in citing sources. I repeat, our competency is to use conventions in citing sources. Alright, so these are the terms, important terms you have to consider. We have sources and we have conventions, right? As we go along our lesson, we will learn more about these terms. Let us now continue. First, let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with the term plagiarism? I'm pretty sure you are not familiar. If yes, maybe just a very few from this class. And 101% sure, even if you don't know it, even if you're not familiar with it, I am sure that you are committing this crime. Yes, you heard me correctly. Plagiarism is a crime. Let me now read its definition. According to the website Oxford Students, plagiarism is presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own, with or without their consent, by incorporating it into your work without full acknowledgement. All published and unpublished material, whether in manuscript, printed, or electronic form, is covered under this definition. Let us try to understand it chunk by chunk. So when we say plagiarism, presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own. So if you are copying somebody else's answers in an activity, then it's a form of plagiarism. If you are borrowing somebody else's idea, somebody else's quotation on a particular question, that is again an example of plagiarism. Now, if you are simply copying the answers written at the back part of your modules, well, congratulations, you are doing plagiarism. Definitely. Aside from this, with or without consent, but without acknowledgement, without including the name of the owner of that particular sentence or idea, that is already plagiarism. And take note, plagiarism may be in various forms. It could be published and unpublished material. It can be in manuscript, meaning to say in modules, in essays, in written materials. It can also be in printed or electronic form, using somebody else's idea as your Facebook post or your Twitter post without full acknowledgement is again an example of plagiarism. Now, maybe you don't take this seriously. Why? Maybe because nobody is complaining. Well, you are very lucky if you stole somebody's assignment, somebody's answer, and he did not or she did not knew it, she did not know it, should I say, she did not find out about it, then you're just lucky. But once the owner complained, then that is already your unluckiest day in your life. Why? Such plagiarism, according to our Penal Code, carries a penalty of 3 to 6 years of imprisonment and or a fine of 50,000 to 150,000 pesos if prosecuted under the law. So make sure if you commit plagiarism, you don't get caught. Otherwise, you will experience this. Just imagine paying 50,000 to 150,000 pesos or even being imprisoned for a couple of years. That's very bad. Now, let's move forward to our discussion. So our lesson's title is Conventions in Citing Sources. You will be citing sources to avoid plagiarism, and you will be using the conventions in citing sources. When we say conventions, these are the standard, these are the used, these are the traditional ways of citing sources. It says here, in academic writing, citation or referencing is very important, especially when you use certain information that you took from other sources in order to acknowledge the author of the information. It is very significant for the writer to know how to use citation or referencing. First idea, when we say citing sources, it is also known as referencing. And when we say referencing, this is done to acknowledge the author of the information you just use or took from other sources. Alright? It's a matter of respect. Giving acknowledgement and respect to who really is the owner of the idea that you are using. You as a writer should know the format of list referencing and in-text citation using the 7th edition of American Psychological Association, or we call it APA format. The in-text citations are citations within the main body of the text and refers to a direct quote or a paraphrase. While on the other hand, when we say reference list, is a comprehensive list of references used in a piece of writing. It is usually found at the end of a whole document or a research paper. And take note that they are alphabetically arranged and they contain all the in-text references used in the academic writing or research writing. Okay, let's discuss each of the underlined and encircled words. Alright, you should know, you must know, you are compelled to know the list of referencing and in-text citation. So these are the two conventions in citing sources. We have the in-text citation and we have the list of referencing. When we say in-text citation, inside. So it is actually written within the body of text. So when you borrowed a paragraph from another author or a writer, then when you wrote the name of that person, that is what we call in-text citation, if it's written within the paragraph or within the sentence that you use. On the other hand, when you write the names in alphabetical order at the backmost part of your paper, just like a book, if you are familiar with the book, if you turn the pages at the backmost part, you would see a reference list. We call it a reference list. Reference list is the term used for the APA format. There's actually another format. We call it MLA format. And for MLA format, we use the term bibliography. But either is just the same. They contain the names of the authors and the other content of the in-text references used within the particular document. Okay? And this one, Mendeley.com, you can see here Mendeley.com. This is an example of an in-text citation. So the writer of this module borrowed this idea from Mendeley.com, and it was published the year 2020. Okay? Now, here are the formats for the in-text citation and for the reference list. Let's have first book. So when you borrowed an idea or when you took an answer from a book, for an in-text citation, the format must be like this. Referencing saves the writers from plagiarism. So you can copy the entire sentence of the borrowed idea, and then inside the parentheses, you will write the last name of the writer or the author, and then the year it was published and the page where you took it. Or it can be like this. You will start your paragraph or your sentence with the name of the author, Mendoza, and the year it was published. 2020 states that referencing saves the writers from plagiarism, page 10. Okay? This is the in-text format sample. On the other hand, if you transfer it in your reference list, it must be like this. You begin with the last name and then the initials of the names, Mendoza, AD, and then in parentheses, the published year, and then always end the element of your reference using a period. So period. And then after the name of the author, it is followed by the title of the book, Saving Writers, Acknowledging the Sources Using the New Format. This is the title of the book. And then followed again by the period. Again, each element of your reference list must be ended using a period. And then after the title of the book, the last element is the publishing house. You can actually see it in the first part of the particular book. The cover page and then the title page, and then you will see their copyright. Copyright and then published and so on. So you will see it there. Again, for reference list, last name of the author, period, title of the book, period, and then publishing company. Understood? Now for the next one, journal article. For the in-text citation, the format must be like this. Academic writing is not an easy task. Using of in-text citation and reference list is a must. And then, followed by, again, the last name, the year it was published, and then the page number. Notice, inside the parentheses, we use commas, okay, to divide the elements of the in-text citation. For the reference list, we use period. We can also use the other format, just like the first one. You use the name of the writer, the published year, and then states that what he said or what she said, and include page numbers for direct quotes. If you quoted, use quotation marks. Do not forget the page number. Okay? Now, for the journals or articles in newspapers, magazines, when we use reference lists, the format must be like this. The last name of the author, the initial, and then the year it was published, period. Okay. The title of the article, Academic Writing Acknowledging Sources. This is the title of the article, period. And then the title of the journal, Academic and the APA, comma. And then we could see here, issue number 10. And then second edition, this one. And pages 26 to 30. Then period. And then the URL or you can see if you are familiar with using computer, you will just right click the cursor and then you would see there copy link or save link. So you could see this one. Or on the top part of your browser, you could see there www.://http: and so on. You would see it there. I'm sorry if I said the wrong arrangement. http: www. and so on. If the DOI is available, please include it. If it's a direct object identifier, it's like a code, a barcode, certain numbers, combination of numbers and letters that is meant for a particular article. So it's a DOI. If it's there, if it's available, then use it. But most often than not, we use the URL, this one. And take note, the title of the journal should be in italicized format. Title of the journal, academic, and the APA. Get it? And the last one, I'm sorry, this is for the journals. For the newspapers, DepEd accepts the challenge. This is for the in-text citation. So DepEd accepts the challenge of this new normal in education. Who said it? Boten and Hilario, 2020. So the authors are Boten followed by ampersand. Okay? Within the parentheses, if we are using parentheses, we no longer use the conjunction and. Instead, we use the symbol, the ampersand. We call it ampersand. So Boten and Hilario, then 2020. Or we could do this one. Boten and Hilario 2020 states that, and so on. So they are taken as one. They're the authors, they're the partners. So we took it this way. Now, if we convert it as a reference list, the format should be like this. Boten B, okay, Boten, comma, the initial, period, comma, and Hilario, comma, D, period, and then the published year or the exact date. Isn't it newspapers have exact date of publishing? So 2020, August 22, close and open parentheses, period. Facing the new normal. This is the title of the article. Okay. Period, followed by the title of the newspaper, the new news. Followed by, if it's online, then we include HTTP and so on. Again, take note, it must be in italics, the title. I forgot to mention. When doing referencing, notice here, this one, this part. I'm sorry. Let me erase first. Okay. Notice this space here. Okay. This space. Notice the first line is like this, and then the succeeding lines are already indented. Okay? Remember, referencing must be in a hanging indentation format. This one. Okay. Notice. Hanging indentation. Right? Now for web pages, for websites, example of your copy dancer, that academic writing should always be blah blah blah. Who said it? In close, open and close parentheses, the last name, Deosera, comma, the year it was published. Or you begin it with your name, the name of the author, should I say. The year states that academic writing should always be aware of the new formats, blah blah blah. And if we convert it, the last name, comma, the initial, period, the published the published date, August 2020, August 12, 2020, and then searching for the betterment of academic writing. This is the title of the article you took from the web page, and then period, title of the web page, acad, okay, period, and then the URL, HTTP, and so on. Once again, title should be in italics. Okay, this is the title of the web page. Is it understood? For in-text citation, open and close parentheses, last name, comma, year published. Or you can start it with the last name, open and close parentheses, the year published states that blah blah blah. For reference list, last name, comma, initial, period, and then open and close parentheses, the published year, period, normally the title of the article, period, okay, the title of the magazine, the title of the journal, the title of the web page, period, and then if it's web page, if it's website, the URL where you got it from. And take note, hanging indentation, and then italics for the titles. Alright. Now, let us have the exercises. For exercise 1, so I will be reading the directions, I will be explaining it, and then I will try to answer each first item so that I can help you understand it. And then the succeeding items, you be the one to answer it on your learning activity sheet. Is that okay? Well, you have no choice but to say yes. Number 1, study the given examples of citations and reference list and tell whether their format is correct or incorrect by checking the corresponding box of your answer. Michelle Agatha, 2020, states that writing citation is a challenging task of every writer. This one for me is quite confusing, but if we stick with our format, I would say this is incorrect. why, it must be just the last name, right? Just the last name. If I will stick with the format, okay? Then be the one to answer the others. Now, in case I am not sure, please pardon me, bear with me, just check on the answer key. After you answer, do not check the answers while answering. Be honest. God sees you. Even if nobody's watching you, God sees you if you're doing some bad things. So answer, and then after answering, try to check if your answers are correct. Okay? Next, for activity 2, arrange the following references according to APA referencing format 7th edition. Okay, the one we discussed. And then rewrite your answers on the space provided. Remember to follow the APA format as what you have read in the discussion proper. Okay, we have a journal entry. If I may recall, a journal entry must begin with the name of the writer, so Asuncion, LA, and then the publishing year, and then period. Okay, the title of the article, okay, health benefits of exercising, and then period. The title of the journal, in italics, men's journal, and then open and close parentheses, the issue number, issue 1. Issue number 56, 56, and then first edition. Okay. Issue 56, I'll write it here, I hope you can still see it. And then, open and close parenthesis, this one, the edition. And then period, and then the page number, 90 to 95. That's how I understood it, okay? You will do the others. Next, using the information below, create an in-text citation following the APA referencing format, 7th edition. Okay, so I would say here, Guevara, ampersand, and Wong, and then open and close parenthesis, 2000. Guevara and Wong 2000 states that most of the novice researchers find difficulties, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Or it could be, you will write this, and then open and close parenthesis, Guevara, comma, K dot, comma, and Wong, comma, dot, T, period, comma, 2000, open and close parenthesis. Okay. For exercise 4, make a research about the given topic, copy the information and use in-text citation. You may use a book or the internet to search for information. Write your answers on the space provided. Remember that you need to follow the APA referencing 7th edition. So you can use another sheet of paper. Okay. So search about an article. So use Google. You type prevention of COVID. Prevention of COVID. So you can search for it and then open the article and then copy it on your notebook and then use in-text citation. Okay? Or you can use in-text citation. Open and close parentheses. Look for the names of the writers and then the year published so that you will do it correctly. And for the last activity, write a reference list of your research in activity 4. Okay, for activity 4, reference in-text citation. And then from the in-text citation, convert them to reference list. Follow the APA 7th edition referencing format. Excuse me. There you have it. After the activity, let's do a reflection. This one is not recorded. This will help you determine whether you have understood the lesson or whether you have not understood it. So have to be honest with this. I can identify the difference of in-text citation and reference list. Is it always? Sometimes, never. Always. I can identify if the in-text citation and reference list are in correct format. Always. I can use the correct format of an in-text citation in academic writing. Okay? So when we say academic writing, these are the writing activities you do inside the school. Okay? Or those projects to be submitted to your teachers. We call them academic writing. Your assignments are academic writing. Essays, articles, and so on. I can use in-text citation and referencing in research writing. There you have it. So once again, thank you for listening. I hope somehow I have helped you understand the lesson somehow. I have also helped you understand the directions given for your exercises. Good luck in answering. Be honest, please. Try to read, and then if ever you did not understand and you cannot understand what you're reading, you can watch my video over and over again until such time that you have understood it. Do not forget to follow me on my Instagram, Twitter accounts at Steve Spear. You can see it there on the screen. Also my FB account, Steve SP. And please subscribe in my channel, Steve Spears Vlog. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. See you again next time. Bye bye.